Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be talking about the Scorpions' latest track called We Built This House. So if you haven't already heard, the Scorpions are, well, they're going to be 50 years old in 2015, so to celebrate this momentous event in their career, they're going to be releasing their first album in 5 years, since 2010's Sting in the Tail, which is going to be titled Return to Forever. And it's the way in which they're doing it definitely seems to remind me to the way that Van Halen approached their last album, A Different Kind of Truth. On that album, they basically took old demos and stuff from their classics of 70s, early 80s period, and they sort of reworked them with a couple of new song ideas to create the album. And it appears the Scorpions are going to be going through that approach, so maybe this might have more of a classic feel to it, though Sting in the Tail, again, it still felt very Scorpions. I mean, I am a big fan of the Scorpions. I have quite a few of their albums on vinyl. I have, and them adorning my wall. Hell, I mean, I bought their Worldwide Live album in Berlin and have the poster from that album proudly on my wall, and I don't think it gets much cooler than that. To me, these are the kings of German rock music for a reason. I mean, Sting in the Tail, it was definitely a good album. It was definitely enjoyable. It's not what I've really found myself going back to in recent years. I mean, it's been a long time since I listened to it. It's definitely not Blackout or Love at First Sting. So I really do need to revisit that. In fact, I may well review it before Return to Forever comes out. But it definitely has that classic sound. And with We Built This House, well, what direction are they going for here? What does it sound like here? Well, do you remember what the Scorpions sound like? If you answered yes to that question, then well done, because you've already actually heard the single, so well done there. Now, joking aside, and about how they're not the most innovative of bands the world's ever known, this genuinely is kind of what you'd expect from a lead single from the Scorpions. You have a powerful riff, kicking things off with that, well, classic Scorpions rhythm in the playing from Rudolf Schenker and Matthias Jabs, I think, Jabs, I think is the other guitarist. I always forget his name. And then in the verse you have a picked, clean, reverb guitar part with Klaus Meiner's voice pretty much as good as ever. His voice has aged very, very well in my opinion. I still think his voice is very strong. And then the guitars kick back in for a powerful chorus, very catchy, backing vocals, and songwriting wise, yeah, it's a solid track. It's pretty much, not too dissimilar to something like, what's the single? Was it Raised on Rock? Yeah, Raised on Rock. Not too dissimilar again. Both have, well, rock in the chorus. I mean, this is We Built This House on rock, whereas that was Raised on... I mean, they have a lot of freaking rock. I think one of that's the track listing for this. I think one of the tracks is actually called, Rock My Car. And it was Rock My Car, really? They certainly do like using rock, an awful lot. But I have to say, I do have a problem with this that I definitely hope is going to be resolved before the album. I have a feeling it may not be, and that's reduction. I'm not really a fan of what they've done reduction-wise here, particularly in the chorus. Everything just sounds so loud, so in your face, and I imagine the dynamic rating of this would be very, very low. Basically, I'm saying I think it sounds overcompressed, and that takes away from the audio fidelity and audio quality, particularly when you're playing it through a hi-fi system or something. It seems it's very much been designed, hopefully, I would say, just as a single for radio play, low quality MP3s from iTunes, Amazon, etc. I definitely hope the full album doesn't reflect that, though. I have a feeling it may well. I mean, call me old-fashioned, but it just sounds too clean and prim and proper. It doesn't have that age or bite, no roughness or, well, venom that you expect from the sting of a Scorpion song. The production here is akin to modern pop and wouldn't really feel out of place on a Carly Rae Jepsen single or how a Nickelback single. It's definitely more pop rock in the production, and I'm not really sure that's the way to approach producing a classic artist such as this. I think you really have to do kind of what I would say maybe Black Sabbath did with 13, with Rick Rubin producing. It still felt like an album released in 2013, that one. yet it also still kind of felt old school as well, and you could hear it coming through all the way the Rival Sons albums are produced. That would be a great way, because their records are actually analog, and they have a really old school sound. Well, again, still the master feels new and fresh. Here, this just feels too poppy, too squeaky clean, and I do think that could definitely put me off listening to this multiple times as I do classic albums like Blackout and You Love Affair, Sting and Animal Magnetism. So I have to say, at the moment, if I had to score this, I'd maybe say 7 out of 10, just because it's a new Scorpions song, so of course I enjoy it, but the production definitely does hinder. Again, who knows what the full album will be like and what highlights it will have. Maybe this will be the best song, maybe it'll be the worst. You never know. How the single from Judas Priest's new album that was first released, I didn't think that was all that good, and that album turned out to be great. So let's be hopeful. Tell me, what do you think of this song? There'll be a link in the description below to the song, and also a link to where you can buy the single. So yeah, tell me, you looking forward to this album? You a fan of the Scorpions? What are your thoughts, feelings? This has been TheAIbumMan. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.